éclat brillant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And then to why not for lunch?
Yeah.
For the déjeuner.
Oui.
And yeah, tomorrow we go to Marc Augustin.
Marc Augustin. Yes,
Ah.
yes. Avenue Val d'Or. Fantastic. Normally, it's a super experience
Really?
because the philosophy of Marc is very interesting. Different people, it's very connected, and for different people, the philosophy of Marc is too complex,
Yeah.
too difficult for the champagne and this philosophy with the biodynamic,
Biodynamic is
with
very
the
unusual.
energy of the nature, the energy of the stars, the energy of the people.
Yeah.
It's a very complex moment. Easy for different people, very difficult for different people.
Yeah.
No worries. And the champagne of Marc is very interesting.
Very good. Is it very far? I was looking on the map trying to figure out. Champagne chauffeur, so we will be driven. But I was just curious, how far away is it?
Maybe it's 15 kilometers.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, no, Avenue Val d'Or is just behind the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very. In Champagne is all the village in Champagne is small,
Very close.
and Avenue Val d'Or is so small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
No,
we don't mind.
The Champagne is not massive vineyard. Is 35,000 hectares.
Okay.
For approximately 303 village can produce champagne, and in this 303 or 304 we have 17 Grand Cru, only 17, and it's never changed. Never.
Ever. And will never.
Impossible. And after we find 46 approximately, 46 Premier Cru, and the rest is Cru, it's a village. And you know, in Champagne, the base of the Champagne is the négoce. The old farmer build and work the vineyard every day and every years. And when the September is coming, the harvest is coming, in the past time, the guys sell everything for the big Champagne house. It was the classic process in Champagne. But things long time, the farmer understand, I can produce Champagne now. And maybe it's better for my life, for my business, for everything. And it's the new style of Champagne, the vigneron, the winemaker, the independent winemaker, do the harvest, do the wine, everything.
And who are some of these that we might know, very large, that we might know? Is Birkar Salmon?
Birkar Salmon is the first time a very old family in Champagne. A winemaker, but an important winemaker with an important connected with different people like the US, like the UK, like the world. And it's always atypical because one guy change all the life and all the generation in the future. For dirt, we speak about the big Champagne house, the Krug, Veuve Clicquot, Philippona, is always one guy, Charles Heidsieck, one guy changed the world for this Champagne house. You know, and today we try forward 3 different winemaker, independent and very sensible. One time in the life of this wine house, one guy changed the world, changed the philosophy, and decide. So now, guys, we do wine, whole house wine. It's important.
And this will taste like us. This will be us. And people will know when they taste that this is ours.
Exactly. And it's impossible today for different winemaker, independent, sell the grape for the big Champagne house. Because you know it's a little bit fight.
Yes, right.
Always.
I wondered, how does one view another? You know, is it big family or maybe not so much?
Yes. And I explain all the time, a large part of the world dislike the big Champagne house because it's big Champagne house, it's marketing, it's everything, it's a blend of a lot of plots, a lot of grape. Yes, it's true. But never forget, it's this Champagne house travel the world during long time for you. For speak about the champagne, what is a champagne? The taste the champagne and the champagne flavors change very fast. The dosage, the rip, the maturity, the vinification with the concrete tank or barrel, anything else. All the technique is very interesting. And tomorrow with Marc, you can appreciate the Amphorea. And the Amphorea Marc used for the skin contact. So normally it's a little bit not autorized in Champagne, but it's possible for different process. Forget a little bit the grape destined for the skin contact. And it's very interesting. And today I have just one Champagne in my wine list with the skin contact.
Really?
On the label, on the front label is CS, skin contact.
And that's
Yes.
what that means. Okay.
It's
good.
a challenge. It's a little bit fight for the crazy law in Champagne, the CIVC, the
Uh-huh.
committee in Champagne.
Mhm.
It's a group of different people, of different champagne house director and chef cellar decide if champagne is not champagne.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's important. All the bottle you try, you have a meeting, or some. I don't remember the number of the meeting by here, and you decide this is champagne. Yes. So it's very easy. Took the bottle. You say okay, good view. Okay, perfectly. First level, not too joke, not too dark, not too fun. In France, we have a lot of different information.
Yes.
Right.
Very important for the pregnant, for the alcohol, for the locality, for the province, all. And after testing, it tests champagne, it tests not champagne, is too modern, is too not too classic, too wine, a low bubble. It's a challenge for all the bottle.
Because
You try.
we saw the RW, was it RWNW? It's a grower, or what was it? I wrote it down.
It
In
was,
Champagne?
Yeah.
We have the association, the CIVC, and the INAO.
Yeah.
RM
That's it.
is grower, producer, and NM means buy and manipulator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have different identitary.
Right.
The
territory,
récoltant manipulateur, he produce the wine, or the house wine, and you have different récoltant coopérateur. The guys work the years in the vineyard, and it can't produce the champagne because the material is very expensive, the press is so expensive, the truck, the engine is very expensive, and it's very not too easy. But you produce the grape.
Right.
Harvest, and sometimes no harvest, just yes, maybe Veuve Clicquot, the grape is ready, come on,
and
come get it.
get
pick
it.
up.
Right.
And this is the champagne. Okay, so today we have a large part champagne house, a big part winemaker and vigneron, because if one day the farmer decide it's not possible this year after a long contract, normally it's 5 years, it's not possible for us to work together. I prefer cancel the contract, the deal, and I produce my wine and the champagne house.
Not so
Because
good.
it's so yes, it's not so good, because a champagne house process is taller,
Oh,
biggest.
Of
Big
course.
champagne house need in English level up all the time.
Yes, of course.
Never
like,
down.
like a large corporation. I mean,
All the
you have
time.
many layers.
And
Yeah.
if this is a sad news for champagne,
Yes, right.
and in Champagne you have approximately 12,000 vignerons and different cooperative and different champagne house, and all this fantastic family produce champagne
Right.
for everybody, for the world.
Is there ever, if a contract runs out and a wine producer has 20 hectares, can he then say, okay, I have 20 hectares, who wants to bid on it?
Do they
And
bid
do
on
the
it?
champagne houses
Do
then
they-
bid, and the highest bidder gets the grape?
Maybe yes, but for winemaker the deal is very important with champagne.
Sure,
Yes.
sure.
The big champagne house have the proof of the power, the business, the
power.
money,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
and is always a long relationship
Right,
with
right,
the
right.
big champagne house. And maybe Veuve Clicquot all the years invite here maybe 300 people,
Mhm.
Really?
and these 300 people is a farmer, is a in English is said the livreur, the vigneron,
The worker.
yes, the worker,
Yes, right.
and it's good relationship
Mhm.
all the time.
It's mutually exclusive. So there's no real reason, unless someone decides suddenly that they want to make their own wine. But that's probably rare. I mean, because you have a good relationship with a
Yeah.
big house that always wants your grapes.
And that's
Yeah.
what we've
And
heard
it's
from
good.
most of the
And it's
vintners.
better for the world, trust me,
Right,
and
right.
it's better for the world
Right.
because
Well, and the consistency, you have to keep that consistency. If you were a house like Runar, consistency, it's all about the same every
And
single
you want
time.
the same
Yes.
grapes, the same.
yes,
right.
but for Runa, for example, and after you try, for example, maybe Runa is I don't remember exactly, maybe 300 hectares, and in proprietary, maybe it's just 100 hectares. So he buy 200 hectares
Right.
is
Worth of-
absolutely colossal,
Yeah.
Right.
and with a new modern process like a chimie, it's possible transform the grape and transform the grape juice fermented. You know, with different technique. With the clarification, we change the colors of the wine. It's easy today. It's not the best, but easy. with the hash, you know, hash, la cendre.
Oh, ash.
The ash.
Yes, right.
Okay, it's possible. Maybe after it's possible to modify the dosage, modify the maturity. It's very, very long process. And the deal for this champagne house is produce all the time the same champagne.
Right.
But different champagne house, dislike that. You prefer maybe Jackson. You prefer all the years a different still, a different flavor because all the years is different.
Sure.
And so he's okay with that.
Yes.
With it being different.
Yes. And it's the life.
Right.
And one day you're open, you're cool, you're happy, and maybe tomorrow you're sad and I dislike this life. I need champagne, so you know.
You roll the dice, and sometimes it's great, and sometimes maybe you don't like it so much.
And you booked a voyage, you booked a travel in the UK or US and happiness. Yes, it's a very long story, and it's all the time a battle in harvest time in September for the pickup quantity. Every year is crazy in Champagne because the vigneron need a lot of grape, the champagne house need a lot of grape, but the price. What is the price, guys? Right. And it's always a big table like the big champagne house and the vigneron, the association. And it's not the fight, it's the respect, but okay, guys, we go.
Yes.
We need this one. Last year's is your role, is your moment. So this year it's a generous year. We need pick up a lot for the future very complex years. We need stop and block different champagne, different wine, still wine for the future. And it's good answer for the weather changements. When the year is perfect, pick up a lot, harvest, import some quantity for the future generation, just for the future years. If the years is sad, very sad, humidity, mushrooms, sick.
But we heard 20 and 21 weren't that good.
Yes, 26 a little bit. 2018 is so generous, but the big champagne house say, stop that. No pick up more.
Really?
And the champagne vigneron say, it's bad news for everybody.
Oh boy.
Because it's complex to produce the appellation. All the vigneron, all the winemaker made the appellation of this year. And I think it's maybe 12,000 hectares, 20,000 kilo for 1 hectare. And he need create the appellation of the years. If maybe the champagne maker need grape and it's not possible to find grape, maybe with a friend or family, he produce a low production, a short production. And not for this year is difficult, but in 3 years, after the aging, after the maturation, is difficult. The problem is never in the time, in now. It's for the future.
It's guessing.
It's a vision for the future.
If you have a bad harvest now, that won't affect you right now, but in 3 or 4 years, then you're going to have a tough time. Fewer bottles or
this year, everybody understand the years. Very generous, so clean. The sanitary level is super.
This year?
Yes, super cool. I think it's good melody. And everybody say, okay, good. We pick up a lot because the vine is super, the grape is perfectly, the weather is super cool. We need wine, we need juice for the next years. And the people pick up a lot.
So I think this is 2022. In 2026, we will be able to buy wines from this year when we were here, and we'll know that we were here during this.
And normally 2027, because after the disgorgement, the winemaker need 1 year.
6 months. Do they say
6 months
sometimes?
6 months is good. It's a good first step. Normally is 1 year. So now after this chapter, we try 3 different identitary. We start with a rosé because it's not like a rosé simply. Maybe you try. It's a rosé d'infusion. It's an infusion. I explained. Just 892 bottle for the world. Yes, it's a friend create this champagne. Is Maxime Oudiette from the south of the Côte des Blancs. Maxime Oudiette.
Côte des Blancs.
Côte des Blancs. The south, the Côte des Blancs is here, with the white, and Maxime is here.
Okay,
it's a very small, very south, very interesting soil because it's a silex rock. Silica, sorry.
Silica.
Rock, classic rock, brown clay.
Oh, really?
Yes, and the wine is very generous. And you see these colors, very Quaver.
salmon color.
You know?
It's very pretty.
But the mouth is
Copper.
complex.
Yeah.
Large mouth, very spicy, like the piment, like the red pepper or yellow pepper.
Oh wow.
Is rosé d'infusion because I explained Chardonnay and Meunier.
Right.
Okay, a large part of Chardonnay ferments in a tank, in a stainless steel tank.
Yeah.
And when the fermentation starts, Maxime destilled the Meunier by hand
Really?
and he put in the tank like
really?
a tea bag.
Right.
You
To
know?
infuse that
Exactly.
flavor.
Flavors delicate.
Wow.
A lot of acidity,
Mm.
a lot of sour, very pleasure for the palate, very champagne.
Mm-hmm.
And the Meunier, these red fruits, very generous, acid too, and with a yellow plum, pistachio, coffee a little bit. And you try this rosé d'infusion. Today is a little bit difficult to find rosé d'infusion. It's the first step, it's the first cuvée,
Really?
the first testing, yes. I received 60 bottles, so I'm lucky because I think I have the most important quantity of the world. The body is very clean, very light, a little bit smoky, and the end of palate is so generous. Typically perfectly for the meat, white meat. Maybe not. I love the chicken fried with the corn.
Really?
You know, yes,
Yeah.
or with the cornflakes, a little bit salt.
With like a panko flakes on the top. Yeah.
It's
Yes.
not very sweet. I think that's
Yes, and because just is no dosage or maybe don't remember, guys. I think it's maybe just 1.2 grams
So
That's
very,
it. So
right.
that is low.
And that's
Oh,
per
that's nice.
1,000 liters, 100 liters.
by bottle.
But oh,
By
per bottle.
bottle.
Okay.
Yeah. And is today and for you and for the world, the dosage is always a bad advice because now you smell generosity,
Right.
maturity, complete maturity, not over rip but rip. And during long time, the big champagne house pick up early the grape, and the peps is never ready. The peps is sour and bitter.
Right, right.
Normally, the grape, when you hit the fruits, the peps is nutty,
Oh.
crispy,
Mhm.
Yeah.
without flavors. Normally, is brown and crispy. This is a rib grape. For Maxime, he wait the good time for the harvest time, harvest by hand, of course, with a specific case box, very sensitive, and he press very slowly with not a vertical press or horizontal press,
Like this.
not
Oh,
with
not
a
like that
with
either.
with a press like circle.
Uh-huh.
We put the grape here,
Uh-huh.
and we have a membrane.
It's like the balloon at Philippona. Is it Philippona that does that?
Yeah. It's a,
Philippona with
Maybe.
air,
Yes.
an air bladder,
Yeah.
like a bladder.
Yes, like an airbag push.
Yeah.
right, airbag.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Push
Yeah.
very slowly,
Mhm.
and after the press return,
Oh, it rolls.
return.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
not a lot,
but
but
it's just enough.
yes, and
to
it's
just
crazy
barely.
always.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it can,
wow.
and it's very modern because you can modify different information of this
Pressure.
machine. Yes,
Mhm.
pressure, temperature.
Temperature too.
Yes,
Oh,
because
okay.
you have water inside, the circle of water is
Oh.
possible. Yeah,
Oh.
and the juice is very clean,
Uh-huh.
most clean like a classic press.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Because it's a natural filtration in this membrane, in this iron circle,
Yeah.
very sensitive. Maxime worked the oak barrel.
He does.
Yes,
Okay.
he produced just two cuvées today. This one and another white, a blanc de blanc.
Oh, blonde.
But the region is a Chardonnay area,
Mhm.
But-
Right.
Right.
yeah. but a little bit Meunier plots.
There's little specks of
Yes,
Meunier, right,
yes.
nearby. I looked at the map,
Yeah.
and obviously Côte de Blanc. So that's how I remembered. Okay, Chardonnay, white,
Easy.
and then but I saw on the map tiny Meunier.
The Champagne region is complex, but
Right.
after 1 month, you learn the grape. You learn the grape. You learn the village.
Right.
You learn the massive area because in Champagne, one area it's possible to find another area here and another area. And another area.
Right.
Uh-huh.
It's very complex. The Champagne is 120,000 plots.
Mhm.
It's a lot. It's a puzzle.
So that's what we saw yesterday, and I always pronounce this incorrectly.
Cloche.
Clos
Clos de Gloire.
Clos des Goisses.
De Goisse. I keep
Yeah.
saying it
Clos
wrong.
de
Clos des
Goisses.
Goisses.
So Clos de Goisse, and that's where he described what a plot
Yeah.
is.
And the Clos des Goisses is an example of Champagne. The Clos is a plot around a wall,
With a wall. Right.
and the Clos is the most biggest in Champagne.
Really?
Yeah. 14 hectares,
Oh.
or 14 or 13. And in this clos, you find Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, and maybe Meunier.
Now we heard that Meunier is closer to the river, to the Marne River
Yes,
in the
not
valley.
in the clos.
Not in the clos.
I don't remember exactly, but the Pinot Noir and the Chardonnay, I'm sure.
Or in the clos, but
And in the Clos des Goisses, you find 3 cuvées.
Really, all three.
Crazy plots. Les Cintres. Les Cintres is the name of the plot, and 2 more parcellaires, 2 more plots. Very interesting. But it's a secret of the family.
Oh.
Yesterday you try a secret of the family.
right,
Really?
right.
Yes, 1522
Yes.
is absolutely crazy. And I prefer always this champagne 1522 like Clos des Goisses. But Clos des Goisses is the stars for Philippona. But the people forget this 1522. It's a secret. You know?
Really?
Yes, all the time. And on the wine list, all the time, maybe Clos des Goisses is more expensive. But in this cuvée, the 1522, all the best grape is here.
It was delicious.
It's crazy. And you try the long vieillissement, the
And
long
all the
vieillissement.
Yes, we
yeah.
had the 40-year at the place, which
Right.
was amazing.
And then the 20 here.
And then we had the 20. We bought the 2015,
1522.
yeah, of the 1522. But the one that we had that last night at dinner, that was the
20-year-old.
20-year-old.
Yeah.
Now they just disgorged that last October.
Yes, very younger.
Yeah, so not that long ago. Can you purchase that yet here? I mean, like, could we buy that bottle? I mean, it was really good, and I would love to take that bottle
Yes,
home.
it's very complex to buy this
Uh-huh.
because when I order the champagne with the Charles or maybe the agent, is always maybe 6 or 12 bottles, and not every
That's
time.
it.
Yeah, because it's very long, 20 years on the yeast.
Right.
20 years, and it is got last year in 2021.
Right.
Right.
And super deal. You try a crazy champagne,
It was really,
1 year's disgorgement,
Uh-huh.
and normally 5 years for this guy is better
Really.
after disgorgement.
Uh-huh.
But you imagine it's 25 years.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
And Philippona have the philosophy, the sensibility for explain that.
Yeah.
The champagne is possible younger,
Mm-hmm.
crispy, acidity, electric, fantastic champagne. And the champagne have another face.
Mm-hmm.
The not aged champagne, but mature, adult,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
adult.
Well, when we tasted last evening the 20-year-old, and we had just in the afternoon tasted the 40-year-old.
Okay.
Now,
Well-
I am what I've tasted was on a map. If this is the 40-year-old and this is the 20, it was going down the same path. It was headed in that direction. You could taste that young 40-year-old
Yeah.
that was only 20,
Yeah.
but those same flavors were there. They were just younger. They were just fresher. But you could taste the same things in the 40 and the 20.
Yeah. And it was the same blend.
It was.
It was okay.
And so it just, I was like, it's gonna get there, you know.
And the potential of the champagne is super cool
Yeah.
with the gas carbonic.
Uh-huh.
Can wait a long time.
Right.
All the people imagine the champagne after 10 years is dusty, is
Right,
dusty,
yeah.
is closed,
Right,
it's over.
That's what we've always been taught in America, that you can't buy a bottle of champagne and let it sit and not drink it right away. That's what we've all been told, and so that's not true. Depending on what you're buying, maybe.
Yes, and in France, it's the same problem.
Really?
In the world, the people buy champagne and it's good,
Uh-huh.
and the people drink fast.
Yeah.
I think if we visit the village of Champignon,
Uh-huh.
and if we visit all the house,
Mhm.
maybe 10 house have a cellar, a southeast cellar with old champagne,
Really?
like maybe 2000 or 2003 or
Uh-huh.
2005.
Uh-huh.
It's a philosophy.
Mm.
And I explain all the time, my generation and maybe your generation, well, in the middle, the grandfather and the father never explain that,
Really?
you know, the wine, the champagne is in the life, like the movie, like different element in the earth, in this earth. And the wine is an education.
Mm.
If
Yes.
one day nobody explain, guys or a son, one day you need try old wine for understand the life. It's very important for you try this, and I do that now. Now, son, we try this.
Right.
It's an education, and
Yes.
my generation lost a little bit this,
Yes.
and the people drink fast and
Mhm.
not in a good condition.
Right.
Right.
It's a challenge. I try this, you try this, I try this. Look at this, it's better like you.
Yeah.
It's good, but
Could
for
be better.
yes, possible to better.
Right.
Yes. So it is a champagne, and it's same problem in the wine. The wine like the same. It's a challenge. The people drink all the time the best wine,
Mm.
and the people never understand the wine. Just you drink the
They
wine.
just drink it. Yeah.
It's good. In Instagram, it's super cool. It's a good feed, but the flavors, the wine maybe is not ready.
Mm.
It's a very complex dialogue, a story,
Sure.
a complex debate.
Right.
Really.
And you
So
have to ask the winemaker, they're the ones that know, correct? I mean, the vigneron, they know. So if you ask and you want to be educated, someone will tell you.
Yes.
Like someone like you
Yeah,
too,
yeah, it's very long,
But you have to ask the question.
and it's very long because one time the champagne is expensive. In your country, I think
Ooh.
it's very expensive. I know that.
Yeah, compared to here it is.
Here, a little bit now,
Yeah.
very expensive.
Uh-huh.
And it's very long waits, different years.
Yeah.
If the cellar is here and you visit the cellar every day, you see the bottle every day, you say, oh, I need to try this with my friend or my girlfriend. I need to try. And the best is forget the bottle in the special cellar or in a box or in the special box in the friend cellar. It's an education. It's a passion. It's a passion and
Yeah.
patience.
Patience. Right. Yeah.
Very, very different, different horizon.
Right.
So you appreciate or not?
I
Oh,
do.
very tasty.
Yes,
I
yes.
do.
Not too spicy or body.
No,
No, you
no.
like the spice. I bet you do
I
too.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need more. You serve you, sir.
You would be happy
is
to
your moment.
take that off your
No.
hands.
You know. Now which we speak about the testing in France. Maybe you know, or if I can explain, it's good for me. First time the temperature in Champagne. The world drink the wine too cold.
Cold. Right.
And you see, yesterday Philippe put the bottle on the table,
Mm-hmm.
and if the glass is very cold long time and the champagne is cold but not too cold, maybe 12, 13, 14 is good. After it's a little bit warm, a little bit hot. Different people dislike. The champagne need freshness a little bit too, but not a lot. If we drink this one frozen, 8 degree, we smell just the generous grape fermented, and it's enough. Bubbly, and it's enough. We try after this. When the hours is closed, we try
Again.
okay with
And
the ambient
taste.
temperature.
Right.
The taste is absolutely different.
Different.
You
Really?
smell the silica, you smell the soil, the ground earth, like the garden.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a garden when the rain is finished.
Yes.
You walk in the garden and you
Damp
smell
grass and-
yes,
Yeah. Dirt that's wet.
It's
and-
right.
Yeah.
wet. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And is the temperature. And it's a battle every night to explain that. Some different people say, okay, it's good, I understand, and I do that in the future. And different people say, no,
I won't do
I need ice cream champagne. I need ice.
Right.
And
Right. With the ice?
Yes, and
Right,
in the
right.
champagne.
Right. I know.
A nightmare for me.
I bet it is. Wakes you up in the middle of the night.
Yes, but it's the life. And it's the fault of the big champagne house. So,
Sure.
it's another story.
We really, I shouldn't speak for you. Last night, when we began to drink the 20-year-old, loved it. Delicious. Fabulous. But then, so we had course and had another course, and it sat and warmed up. And it just took on a whole another level.
Right.
It was so good. The warmer it got, until it got to a certain point where maybe it was too warm. And then I said something and I said, what do you think? And he said, yeah, let's put it back. All the way to that point, it was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good that way.
Yeah.
And it was so different. It was shocking.
Absolutely.
It smelled different. It tasted different. And the food, it was
The
it was
salinity,
amazing.
the texture. A lot of people drink champagne for drink people, but the people forget the champagne have a mouth still.
Mhm.
A mouth,
Mouthfeel.
yes, mouthfeel.
Yeah.
If is the body if is slim, medium, full body, heavy, rounder, it's possible. And after the texture of the bubbles, if it's just
Right.
creamy like a sparkling water,
Mhm.
or if it's very, very sparkling like a Coke or an Orangina or Sprite, it's very difficult.
Mhm.
And the people need to understand that.
Mhm.
And after the flavors, all the time. So in France, normally in France, and after I explain this vigneron, The first one, when the sommelier serve, normally the view, the colors, okay, with the white paper behind, or sometimes for the guys, the jacket all the time.
Nice.
So it's a little bit classic, but it's perfect for
that's
appreciate the colors because
I
the
hadn't noticed
champagne
that before.
have a color.
But
Very
usually I
Put it
hold it up to the light.
But even the
yeah.
light
Yes.
has a color.
It's light,
Right,
but you can appreciate
The white is better, right?
Right.
a pink reflect, very light pink reflect, a little bit the seed flavors, or a little bit
Yeah.
pink, and is very brilliant.
Right.
A little bit silver reflect too,
Mhm.
not too deep, not too yellow.
Right.
Right.
Not
Yes.
green.
Yes, madam. Yes,
Right.
great. And with this information, you can explain. I think maybe I have a lot of Chardonnay inside.
Right.
Okay.
If the champagne is lighter, brilliant, and the body, if you move a little bit, the body of the Chardonnay is always more flight, like rock
Yeah.
and roll. But the Pinot Noir, for me, the Pinot Noir is always more heavy, like thick,
Sure.
like stronger.
Right.
And after, you never move the glass. You
Okay.
smell. First one is the premier nez, the first nose. Different people close the eyes. Different people never close the eyes. And the most important is good, is not cork, and the wine is opening. If you smell flavors simply, or if or if you smell the fridge. If you smell the fridge,
Oh.
the wine is closed. It's not the default. It's just closed. Maybe you need time for opening. And after, can move a lot. Yes, and you
So
can smell.
Always smell first without moving it.
Yes, out moving.
Got it. Okay.
And after moving,
Then
maybe
you move
3 or
around.
4 times, and you smell. You broke a little bit the gas carbonic. You broke bubbles. You broke the wine. We lost bubble, unfortunately.
Right.
And you smell. Different people smell. Different people smell.
Oh.
It depends the people. It depends your style, and you need time for understand your nose and your sensibility. Okay. Normally, if you smell very slowly, it's possible add a lot of flavors. You add a lot of flavors. I like this technique. You smell a very generous fruits, a little bit cold, like the morning, like
Right.
the
Dew, like morning dew.
Yeah.
Like the marine layer that comes in the morning here. It's the fog, the mist, right?
the fog.
Yeah, fog. That's what they call. Like in San Francisco,
Yeah.
the thin white air that
The
has the
cloud.
water.
It's like
in
low
it.
cloud.
Yes,
The
very
cloud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like here
no.
in the
In
morning.
France, you say le brouillard.
The booyah.
Yeah, it's a big cloud,
Uh-huh.
but it's not a cloud; it's a humidity.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And in English is
Booyah. Fog.
fog.
And
Yes.
and in some parts, like in Napa, near the ocean,
Yeah.
when the temperature changes, they call
Yeah.
it the marine layer.
Yeah.
Because like
So because it's the water,
ocean.
it's the
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
right.
humidity from the ocean comes into the valleys and then kind of gets stuck there. So
And the rain only in this part.
right.
Cloud, yes.
Yes,
We have
exactly.
this
Yeah.
in the Marne, the river. So and after the second nose, you can taste the champagne. So 2 technique. The first mouth is very easy. You wash your mouth with your tongue. You touch all the sense that your elements in your
all the palate areas.
the palate, the
Mm.
cheek. Not-
Mhm.
Okay. Second time, when you drink, you breathe. I explain.
Breathe and you drink at the same time. Right. You suck in the air.
But when you move this
Mhm.
sound,
Mhm.
you never drink.
Right.
You just
You need
Just move around.
stock the wine in your mouth,
Okay.
and with your tongue, you move the wine in your mouth
Okay.
all everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, madam, you have a sensibility of this part,
Mhm.
and sir, you have a sensibility of this part, and you describe the champagne differently.
Mm-hmm.
And all the time, it's very important. The tasting is an intimate moment. If I
Mhm.
say, oh, I think it smells fennel, or a little bit the warm lemon.
Mhm.
If you say, oh yes, maybe there's for me is tarragon and ginger. It's true, perfectly. For
It's
you, it's
true.
true. It's not a mistake.
Everybody's different.
A lot of people have a complex with this. Sorry. Yes, tu cherches quoi? Et là. The people have a complex with that. And in front of sommelier or maybe chef cellar, the people have all the time need, I say good or I explain good. No, it's not the challenge. It's your skill, it's your nose,
What
it's
do
your
you-
experience.
Right.
And maybe the guys have tried 2,000 champagne by months, every month during 1 year, and you try champagne every month, but you drink champagne simply. You appreciate the flavors, you appreciate the conditions, you appreciate the region,
Right.
and it's different.
Yeah.
You find champagne for the pleasure, champagne for the business.
Right.
Right. That's true.
It's different.
Right.
It's
Right.
totally different. Okay. So and after, again, when you try the champagne, you smell okay, nice acidity, salinity, a nice barrel aging. You smell a little bit the barrel,
Right.
a little bit the oak barrel, not very burn very light,
Right.
not the wood very burn very down.
So medium toast.
Or light
Perfectly.
toast. Yeah.
Perfectly. With a very slim fire. And why? Because Jean-Marc Selec is the village of Pierry. Pierry is after the hotel and before Epernay,
Oh, okay.
just on the hill.
Oh, so he's very close.
Yeah, just here.
Uh-huh.
And this one is a blend of Chardonnay, 50%, okay, 35% of Pinot Noir, and complete with the Meunier. And the difference, the generosity of this one is the result wine.
Oh.
Because they hold it back.
Yes, 50% of result wine of the
Really?
different years.
Oh,
So-
wow.
Normally, it's a complex stainless steel tank or oak barrel, and every year the vigneron had 10 or 15% in this oak barrel. Still,
Still.
is a still wine, but the old wine is mature, very complex, nice mouth, very intense, and the young wine, without body, without nothing,
Right. Has
yes, transform this older wine with a bit more freshness and complexity. Is a resort wine and is auto resort in Champagne, and it's possible to find very old Champagne. We try here. Jean-Marc Selec is a fantastic grower, young grower, maybe 35 years old, with his wife. Is les côtes au sud d'Épernay, is the South Épernay region,
okay.
and it's all the time very interesting because it's very soily. It's not a simply flavors of Chardonnay and the Pinot Noir. It's a little bit difficult for appreciate the flavors of the soil because Jean-Marc worked a lot the soil. Jean-Marc never used different chemical treatments for the grass, for the flower, for the animal, for everything. It's alive. And all the plot is very high in the altitude. Good wind, never humid, good exposition, not too slot, but all the time very clean. The village normally is good. One time is premier cru.
Is it?
So today,
Oh, wow.
not today is a cru. It's classic village. So Jean-Marc hope espère one day the Pierre village is classified in premier cru because it's a fantastic cru.
Right.
Yes.
How often do they reevaluate?
Never.
They never reevaluate.
Never.
So when he says he hopes that it'll be a premier crew,
He creates,
when would that happen?
Yes, and he creates different meeting for explain with different guys. It's always a long process, maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years.
wow.
Yes, very complex.
Really?
Because if Pierre transform in premier cru, the champagne explodes.
Right.
Because
Everybody
everybody
wants
needs
it.
premier cru.
Yes, right.
And everybody, and all the
And
premier
on the
cru
label, they want to
need
say
Grand
it.
Cru.
Yeah, right.
I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for this. Later for the new generation.
Yeah.
So this classification is blocked. Is never change. Impossible. If it change one day,
Wow.
it's the wars outside. Trust me. Yeah, really.
Everything on fire.
Yes, it's true. Yes, in 1923,
Mhm.
I think 1923, in la crise de Champagne,
Mhm.
and we have a crazy, not civil war, but
Revolution.
yes, like a
Food-
revolution.
Food revolution.
Un peu de colère, the angry people,
Right.
because the big champagne house and different vignerons
Mhm.
buy the grape in the region,
Mhm.
in the Loire Valley.
Oh,
Right,
my-
right.
oh
Burgundy.
God! Oh God!
And then boom.
Yes, and before is authorized. And after a long time, the local farmer said, hey, guys, it's not possible
Is
that,
that-
because
That's
everybody work a
right.
lot here and hard.
And we
The
all
life
know.
is not easy, and you
Mm.
buy the grape in the most easy region,
Right.
low price, and you sell
Sell
the
it
champagne
here.
expensive.
Oh my
Right,
God.
right.
And outside it's a crazy burn. village
Oh,
burned
God.
the farmer, but everything.
Right,
You
right.
can see in the internet the crise de Champagne, 1923 or 1929. It's a it's I was saying in English when you turn in car the village.
U-turn.
Yes, just you turn, but
Yeah.
a very
A
Like a
sharp
sharp
turn.
yes, a
Yeah.
sharp turn in
Uh-huh.
Champagne
Uh-huh.
is the first chapter. Is the
Really?
first step in Champagne, the new evolution.
Uh-huh.
All the grape is in this area.
Yeah.
Is authorized
Mhm.
create champagne, but
Mhm.
only here.
Mm-hmm.
If your house is here, the liner is here, and the grape is here, is not champagne.
Right.
You can
Right.
produce still wine, your
That's
still
not-
wine, the
Yes.
vin de
you can-
France,
Right.
no worries.
Mm.
But it's impossible to do the
Don't
harvest
call
here
it-
and
don't call
transfer
it
in your
that.
home and press
Yeah.
and say it's champagne, sir.
Right.
Not impossible.
Yeah,
Yes.
because we talked about that earlier because we took a balloon ride, and we were heading northwest, and we saw pieces of land that didn't have grapes on them. They were harvesting
Not
something else,
impossible.
and I was wondering, would they ever change that to grapes to add, because it looks like it's in this area?
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, it's only 58. How many hectares is it?
38,000.
How many hectares is it in Champagne?
38. Isn't it
Where?
38,000?
To grow a grape in Champagne, it has to be within how many hectares are there?
Good question. But the Champagne region is 34,000 hectares.
34,000. Okay.
Yes, in production.
Yeah.
Right.
But the Champagne region, like the Champagne-Ardenne, is
Right,
big.
right, is bigger. But
Yeah.
to call your wine Champagne, it has to be one of those 30. Has to have grapes from one of those 34,000 hectares.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Champagne region is not 50-50, but is an important. It's majoritary for the agricole, for the farmer.
Right.
Potatoes, onion, beetroots,
Yeah.
carrots, seed, flour,
Beets.
beets.
Yeah.
A lot of part is farmer and a little bit part is viticulture.
But they
the
would
winemaker.
never. They can't change a beet field into a grape field and still call it part of Champagne, can they?
If they're in Champagne,
I don't understand.
if there's a
So
field,
right, you're growing beets.
Yeah.
In
And
Champagne.
you don't want to grow beets anymore. You want to start growing grapes and sell them as Champagne. Can you do that?
I don't think so.
No, yeah.
I don't think
Because
so.
you only have the 30.
No.
Right.
I don't think so. Good question.
Because if the beet harvest is, you're not making enough money, let's say,
Yeah.
and you
And-
wanted to say, I want more money from grapes. Can
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I
just
don't think
plant?
anyone would do that only because how many years it takes to grow
Right,
Yeah.
but still,
vines.
And
Mature vines.
in Champagne, we have all the village.
Mhm.
All the village have a cadastre, is a plane,
Mhm.
with all the plots, and all the plots have a name.
Uh-huh.
And is a long time ago, these guys, the church guys,
Right.
generally, and the village all the time is in the middle,
Mhm.
and the vineyard is around.
Mhm.
Look the village every time. The
Uh-huh.
village is in the middle, and the vineyard is around. It's more easy for the people in the old
Sure.
time with the cow or the horse,
Right.
Sure.
without machine, without truck.
Yeah.
And all the plots have a name, have a sense.
Mhm.
And today it's impossible to create this.
and that's why I think there's, because we've heard that the demand for Champagne is far more than the production is.
Yeah.
And again, coming from America, it's always like, well, can't you
In America, it's possible planting. because
plant more,
everywhere.
make more, make
Mhm.
more,
Yes,
and
because
then
the
you can-
appellation is not delimited.
right.
Is sometimes it's dangerous and
Mhm.
sometimes it's cool. It's cool for the new generation, like create a wine
Right.
because the world need wine,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's dangerous because the price of the wine
Right, right,
Right.
and the quality, conceivably, right?
Yeah.
and it's quality.
Yeah.
You appreciate this one?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
I do
It's
This
very
is-
different. Is not unfortunately an autumn champagne.
Right.
I prefer like the spring or the end of the
Really?
the end of the winter when the snow holidays finish. A little bit freshness. It smell good. The sun. It smell good. The fresh grass.
Yeah.
It smell good. The barrel.
Right.
The good barbecue. The good pleasure. This one is typically for autumn and winter
Mm.
with a spicy bread with I don't say in English. Les gaufres. It's a pasta, not pasta. It's a paste with milk, eggs, flour, sugar, and you press and you eat this with sugar, very fried.
Like a dough, like
It's not a donut. It's the same process like a donut, but
Right,
it's,
right,
but
right.
like it's
It's-
just dough.
it's like this.
flat.
yes,
Mhm.
and you put chocolate or marmalade,
Mhm.
it's a